Welcome back to another interesting tutorial. I'll be teaching you how to sew a plus size corset. When I mean plus size, I'm talking about big bust corset, as you can see right here on the video. I'll be sharing with you the tips and tricks to creating it. To make a plus size corset, you need to craft their cup first. So you are going to rule a straight line at the midpoint of your paper. Here is the center front and this is the bust point. So this line I marked right now is the bust point line. That is shoulder to the bust point of the plus size. Next, we are going to place her bust point. Her bust point is 12 inches. You place 12 inches and mark her under bust. Her under bust is 16 inches. So I'll just go ahead and rule the under bust line. That is her shoulder to the under bust line. Here is the under bust. Next, you are going to place your tape on the bust point line and mark her nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2, which is the bust span. Now you connect the lines across upwards. Next, we are going to mark the bust radius. So you place your tape at the bust point to the under bust. I have 4 inches. Then add 1 inch to it, which is 5 inches, and mark on the upper part. So the upper part from the bust point is 5 inches. We are going to create the side cup right now. So for the side cup, you are going to take the measurement of what you have on your nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. So from the center front to my nipple point is 4.5. I added 1 inch to create the side bust, which is 5.5. So the side bust is usually bigger on the side. The bust is fuller on the side. So I mark that 5.5 upwards too. Now we are going to close up the bust. So we will start the drafting proper. Now from the nipple points, we are going to mark 1 inch downwards on this side, 1 inch, on the other side 1 inch. After marking the 1 inch, then we'll come to the under bust line. From the center line, mark 1.5, 1.5. So that is 1.5, 1.5. Next, we are going to connect from that 1 inch line to the 1.5 inch line. So here you can see we've connected that there. Then on the center front line, you are going to come down by 1 inch and come up by 1 inch from the bust point. Then we are going to connect the 1 inch to the 1.5 line. Then on the side, you also come down by 1 inch and go up by 1 inch just to complete the down cup. So you can see how I'm placing my ruler. So take note of how the ruler is placed. To close up the down cup, you are going to place your tape on the 1 inch line on the bust point to this side, and from the 1 inch to the center front like this. So you can see how the cup is coming out. So you can see that we measured 1 inch from the center line on the center front and on this side. So we are going to blend in that 1 inch this way on this side and blend it in this way on the center front too. Now we are going to place our tape on that point and measure 2.5 inches. Then you go in by 0.25, which is a quarter. You rule a straight line connecting it this way. Coming over to this side, you are going to also go in by a quarter. That is 0.25 inches. So you mark 0.25 inches inwards. Then rule a line from that point across it. Then you come up again by a quarter. So from that line, I'm going to mark, from that straight line, I'll mark upwards of the extension 0.25. Now I'm going to blend my ruler from that point to the center front line. So to create the oval bust, I'll come up by 1 inch again from the nipple point. Then I'm going to mark 0.5, 0.5. So I'll use 0.5 on both sides, making it 1 inch. Now I'm going to connect this way and connect that way. So that is the oval bust, just to make the bust to relax very well on the bust, because these people really have big busts, so it needs to relax on them. So the shaded part are the darts, and we are going to label the darts 1, 2, 3, 4 to avoid confusion. Then we'll further label it using the center, front and the sides. We'll proceed to the cutting of this cup right away. So I'll just go ahead and cut. So I want to take my time to cut this cup, because I need you to see how I am cutting off the cup. Usually plus size cups it's really very difficult to get their cup in the market, okay? So it's best to create a cup size for them and use it to draft their corset. Now I'm going to label them to avoid confusion, the center, front and the sides. After that is done, we'll continue cutting again. So I'll just cut in this way, cut in that way. So at this point I decided to just close up the darts. So we'll begin to close the darts right now. So I just want to use my seal tape and close it this way. So you see how I'm closing it. So you make sure the dart is well closed. That is the upper part. Then I'll cut in through the back part and also close it. So I think it's even better to close them this way than to cut it out. It's easier to close the darts. So make sure all the lines matches. Very important that all the line matches like this, okay? So I kept closing up the cup. So by the time you are done closing the cup right now, you are going to see the shape of the big bust cup. So like I said, it's very easy to use this method to create their cup. If you don't want to pass through the stress of, going to get a cup for a plus size. So at the end of this drafting, we'll be using this pattern to create the plus size cup. We are going to do bust caging for them. Of course, you know what I mean by bust caging the cup of a plus size. So I also have a detailed video on how to bust cage a cup. I'll be dropping the link on the description box below if you want to learn how to bust cage a cup. So I'll now go ahead and finish up the cup downwards this way. So you put it together and that is that. So the cup is ready, and you can see how cuppy this cup is actually looking, okay? So if you look at the upper part of this cup, we have a little shortage. So just go ahead and blend it up. It does not affect anything. Just blend it up into the front line like this, okay? And that is all. So this is the cup you are going to use now for the drafting. So to draft this cup, you are going to place the cup on your paper and push it to the under bust point. Please don't keep your tape straight this time because we have already formed the cup and the darts. So this cup is going to be dartless. You can see how I place my tape, and that is where you are going to mark your under bust. We'll begin to mark. So I have to push this cup to form the bust bridge. The bust bridge is just half an inch. You mark the half an inch and mark the under bust. So now we can now take the shape of the cup. So the bust bridge is half an inch. You go ahead and take the shape of the cup to the under bust like that. So first of all, you get the shape before you begin to draft. And this is it. And that is how the cup is going to fit in. So after you are done getting the cup, next we'll begin to take our body's measurement. First, you are going to rule the under bust line. So shoulder to under bust, you rule it and rule the shoulder line. Now you place your 16 inches on the under bust and mark your waistline. Waistline is 19, then you count 5 inches below for your corset. So I'm going to rule the lines accordingly. Then we are going to put the neckline. My shoulder divided by 2 is 8.5 and the neckline is 3.5 by 3.5. That is for the front neckline. I use 3.5 by 3.5, but you can use any measurement that you, depending on the neckline styling. Then I'll come down by 1 inch and I'm going to connect my slanted line. Next, you are going to place your tape on the bust bridge and mark your shoulder divided by 2 again, just to get a straight line. Now, I'm going to rule my chest line. So that is where the chest line is going to be for a plus size. On that chest line, you are going to mark your bust divided by 4. So mine is 12 inches. So I will mark the midpoint of my armhole, go in by 0.5, connect and finish up my armhole this way. So the armhole is finished right now. Then you blend in your cup. So this is a big bust and that is how their corset is usually is. So you are now going to put your waist, your actual waist divided by 4 and your actual hip divided by 4. This corset is dartless because we have formed the cup. So all you need to do is to connect the actual bust, waist and hip. Then on the down hip, we are going to come up by 1 inch just to blend up that line. So I'll come up by 1 inch and blend. And we are done with this pattern right now. Here is the center front. I'll go ahead and add half inch. Half inch is for seam allowance, seaming the cup to the bodice of this dress. Then I'll go ahead and trace it all the way down like this. Now you can see the yoke line. So next is to cut out this pattern. You see the cup fitting into the corset like this. So we are going to cut right now. I just want to show the cutting process. It's just actually a simple dartless corset cutting. So we'll just go ahead and cut. What we drafted right here is only the front pattern because we are dealing with the cup. Okay, that is where we usually have issues with the cup. As for the back piece, I believe you know how to go about the back corset. So I'm not going to show that part in this tutorial. So this is how the cup is going to fit in. I believe this class was helpful to you. If you have any question, feel free to drop it on the comment section and it will be attended to. So thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.